Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over using your lower body to generate more force, and we're going to start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals. You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video. Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become.
All right, so I'm really excited about doing this video just because I really think it would make a big difference on how you're utilizing that lower body and specifically that back leg to be able to generate more force when you're throwing the football. And I think the big mistake that I see with quarterbacks is that when throwing the, more underneath type routes, maybe something, underneath 20 yards, there's like a certain way that you're going to be able to push off the ground and utilize the ground in comparison to when you're throwing a deeper throw, 50 yards or plus. But what happens is that most quarterbacks end up getting really good at, generating force off the ground with one specific way within that back leg, but then are not able to adjust to those deeper throws. And so that's why you could have a lot of velocity, right, and be able to put a lot of torque on the football when it comes to 20-25 yards, but then maybe not getting as much distance is because there's a different way of how you're generating force off that back leg. So we're looking at Josh Allen here. He's obviously somebody that's able to do both, and we can see when he's pushing off that back leg, one, the overall base is wide, but it's not as wide, right? And when he's pushing off the back leg here, he's really getting a lot more height within that heel, right? So see how his heel really comes around and there's a lot more initial torque from that position. So he's really getting those hips around quickly, right? And he's really allowing his body to be able to get a lot of rotation in the lower end. And one of the unique things that he has a lot of that really helps him out here is that external rotation. So, this is why I'm always trying to promote the quarterback program, is because you got to be able to build up this type of external rotation capability in the arm in order to really have long-term success as a quarterback. You could have some short-term success when it comes to, playing high school football and things like that. But if you want to get into the higher collegiate levels, you got to have the right range of motion in the shoulder, or else it's just all not going to work out. So, the big thing though is you got to be able to generate that force off the ground with that back leg in a way that makes it so that heel comes a little bit higher up, right? So it's still a push, but really it's about initial rotation that ends up generating a lot of force within, the 20 yards or under type throws, right? And this could even be 25 yards as well, right? I don't want to make it so it seem like it's not that. It's just like anything that's more of a line drive. Well, now when we're talking about a deeper throw, notice what he does here, okay? So one, he's got a wider base, okay? And when he's landing, he's pushing much more forward. So instead of that heel being upwards, you can see that heel is going much more forwards. Okay, so now it is still about being able to generate rotation, but really it's about continuing the hip rotation through, or the hip movement through the throw. Notice that as he's completing the throw here, he's getting his body to move forward the whole time, right? So it's about pushing off that inside part of the big toe to make it so as he's going through the throw, his hips are continuing this motion. Quarterback University is where committed quarterbacks come to take their game to the next level. Improve your throwing power, velocity, accuracy, and get the ball out of your hands faster. Not only are there videos to improve your mechanics, but there's also workout tutorials and also drills to help you improve as well. We want to help you get noticed, which is why we also included a recruiting services section. We'll have quizzes that you'll be able to take to be able to make sure that you actually get the information and are able to repeat it back. In case you have any shoulder, back, wrist, or elbow soreness, there is a section to address that as well. Click the link here in order to get started. Thanks for watching. Right? When it comes to the underneath throws, it's more about that initial rotation, and he's pushing off more the, big part of the toe, like the front part of the toe, to make it so that heel's facing upwards, right? And this is, I don't know how much of this is being taught to him or how much of it is natural, right? I think there's a lot of guys that can naturally throw the ball really, really far, and they have some of these mechanics. It's the same thing with like sprinting, right? As we're getting more ability to see in slow motion and understand how the body is actually working to be able to get a certain result, the better understanding we're getting of what it takes to be a great sprinter, a great quarterback, great at jumping. All those things come into consideration when you could really slow it all down and get a good understanding of it. And this is what I'm seeing, right? It's that when you're throwing the ball underneath, it's a lot more about that initial action, that initial rotation, that initial push off that ends up making it so you can end up having a lot of success there. Where when it comes to the longer throws, it ends up being a little bit more of a longer force production, right? So it's like when you're doing like a jump, right, it ends up being a short force production type of a movement. Where when you're doing something like a power clean, that's going to be a little bit of a longer force production that's going to make it so you have success on that. Or even like a snatch or something like that, a hang snatch. So, you know, what we're talking about when it comes to the deeper throws is something where you're creating more force over a longer period of time, which is where you want to put a focus on really pushing that heel forwards, okay, and making it so you're getting continual movement through the hips all the way through the throw, right? And I would put a focus on that, right? Don't think about where the ball is going. Don't think about how far the ball is going. Think about how much action and how much movement you're getting through the hips, and get really good at being able to continue to get better and better at that. And that will make it so now you can create more force over a longer period of time, which will make it so then you can throw the ball further. So that's the video here. I think this could be really beneficial, guys. So if you liked it, go ahead and click that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, we'll be happy to help you out in any way that I can. Also, check out Quarterback University. We have a bit of a promo here. And then also we have the 3-month quarterback training program that we have a great deal for it right now. It's a whole, you know, Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal going on. So it's going to end tomorrow with that deal. So go ahead and check that out. It's going to be 3 months. It's going to give you the training program. It's going to give you unlimited breakdowns where we go and show you how you can improve your mechanics, whether it's throwing velocity, accuracy, throwing power. Really, I put a big emphasis on, you know, throwing velocity, throwing power, improving those areas. But I do want to help out with accuracy. I do want to help out with your release time as well. I put a big focus on that. And so there ends up being a lot of things that you can get better at as a quarterback, but really, you know, we want to be able to make it so you have a better understanding of how you can maximize your mechanics to make it so overall you become much better as a quarterback. And that's what I'm always looking into. How can I help you guys out more and more? And I think this could be an excellent way to be able to do that. So check out that 3-month program. We have a great deal going on right now. It's going to be 3 months. You're going to get Quarterback University. You're going to get the training program, unlimited breakdowns. You're going to get the access to a quarterback biomechanics course. It's a lot of great information that you're going to get by doing that. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.